right, welcome back everyone to another edition of Talk 122 with your Superintendent Dr. Terrell Yarbrough, and I have, as you can see, two guests here with me today. This edition is going to be about our girls flag football team, which we're all really proud of and want to get behind you and support you and all those good things. And so before we get into like some questions and things like that, and you can relax because we're have a little bit of fun with this, tell the audience, your name, your grade, right? So we'll start with you.
I'm Madison King, and I'm in 10th grade.
Okay.
I'm Giada Young, and I'm a junior.
All right. And then also the position that you play on the team.
I'm a wide receiver.
Okay.
I'm a running back.
All right, so I'm going to do this kind of like a rapid fire type way of asking questions. Either one of you can just jump in and answer them. So you can either say, "Oh, you'll take it," then you'll take it, and that's fine. So to start with, something real easy, okay? What is your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Bam. All right.
History.
Okay, so we got history and we got math. That's okay. I used to be a social studies teacher, so I can rock with that. Math, that was all right. So we'll go there. So with flag football, obviously the popularity of it has like exploded, right, over the last few years. And what I really like about us, and when I say us, I mean Harlem, I think we were ahead of it, like before it even became a sport and things like that, like an IHSA sponsored sport. We really showed support as a community for flag football. So can either one of you or both of you answer this question, like how did you become like excited about playing flag football?
My mom first introduced it to me. She really wanted me to step up for it because she wanted me to play 2 sports. So I finally got into it.
Okay. And what about you?
I tried it because I didn't want to run cross country anymore.
Oh man, so okay. So we got 2 different reasons of why you started it. So think about this then. What are the benefits of girls, and when you think of young girls who may watch this episode at some point, the benefits of being a part of not just flag football but just sports in general? There's no wrong answer, so you're good.
I mean, it's easier to get into college that way if you're looking to get into college.
Okay.
Just trying something new.
Okay.
Instead of sticking with something that you already did.
Gotcha. All right, and so staying in that lane a little bit, so trying something new, something that you did, a way to get into college or kind of boost your resume a little bit and things like that. When you're actually like playing, right, and you're going through, obviously we know how like regular football as far as is played like traditionally, right? What's the difference like with girls and flag football than like a traditional like football? Like what's the differences so people know? I mean, there's obvious differences, right, with helmets and things like that. But talk a little bit about like just girl flag football. Like how does that look? You got the flag, all that. Like
you cannot tackle.
Cannot tackle.
You can't tackle people.
So you might want to tackle, huh? I'm kind of.
It happened one game.
One?
So we had one game where you tackled. You're not supposed to tackle, but you tackled. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But we can kind of look over that, right? It's kind of what happens when you tackle because you're not supposed to tackle.
Yeah, you got a flag on you.
Okay. And then your coach kind of gets a little upset or not.
Well, he get upset, but he might laugh it off a little bit.
Okay. All right. That's okay. And then what about you?
I mean, pretty much the same thing, like the pushing part. Like you can't push anybody or anything.
Okay. All right. And so when you're out there, like thinking about like a play that you would run, and it could be even a recent play that you may have run, like what kind of goes through your mind as far as trying to score? Like how do you set that up?
Just gotta think about, I gotta catch this ball. Gotta go out there and run.
Okay. And then what? Yep.
I try to look through like the paths. Where can I go that's clear to get a touchdown?
Okay. And so as soon as say for example you catch the ball and you're running, if someone grabs your flag, is that when the play is automatically over, or how does that go? So as soon as the flag is grabbed out?
Yeah, as soon as the flag is left your side, you're done. The play's dead.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about, in the audience, because how long have you been playing?
I've been playing for 3 years.
It's my second year.
Your second year. So we got a little bit of experience here. So like your most exciting like either play or game, and kind of take us there a little bit. Like, and why was it that?
My first game, I got us the pick 6, and I won us a game.
And you okay? When who were you playing? Who were we playing?
We were playing East.
Playing East. Okay. And how did that feel?
Great.
Great.
They interviewed me after. It just felt nice.
Okay. And me going back to my high school playing days, and I didn't do anything like a pick 6 for the touchdown to win the game, so to speak. How was it the next day with the kids at school?
So I played for a co-op team, so
Okay.
they just mixed a whole bunch of schools together. But the sport wasn't really known, so
Okay.
nothing really happened at school.
Gotcha. And so, staying there for a little bit. So, because you played for the co-op, and obviously now you're generating interest and things like that, and you had that exciting experience, and it really wasn't really known at school, right? How did you kind of go about like talking about it? You know, because I know you had to talk about it with your friends. I mean, I would have anyway. So how was that? Because in a way, that's gaining interest in the sport too.
Well, I mean, I talked to my friends about it, like the ones that know I play the sport, and I had my mom get it out a little bit more too. She'd post it and things like that.
Perfect. And what about you?
This year has been really good to me because I learned how to like put my foot in the ground. So I've been having like big runs.
Okay.
So
Long as you ran.
yeah.
How many yards?
Well, sometimes,
10, 20, 30, 40?
sometimes it's like 80 or
Oh,
maybe I
80.
get,
Oh,
like,
man.
a few games it's been 80 like at the end of the game.
Okay.
I don't know till I run till they get me.
Seems like the Chicago Bears need you. But anyway, well, that's a whole nother topic for another day. And then speaking of like the Chicago Bears, I know that the Chicago Bears organization was really influential in girls football, flag football. Do you two know about any of that? Have you been to any camps or anything like that that's involved girls flag football?
Most I went to was like the jamboree.
Jamboree?
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, it's like all the teams come out and we do stuff together and then we scrimmage a little bit. And then they gave us sandwiches from
Okay.
Chick-fil-A.
From Chick-fil-A. All right, shout out to Chick-fil-A there. Okay, so a little bit of shout out to Chicago Bears, but more so for Chick-fil-A. I saw you got a little excited there. So that's good. All right, so for again, any young girls who may want to, play flag football in the future, what advice either one of you have for them, like coming up, through the ranks and because obviously it's not a sport right now at the elementary level, I don't think, unless I'm wrong, and you guys can educate me on that. But how would they kind of train and get ready for becoming a part of like a girls flag football team?
I would say just do it, or like maybe even the high schools that do it can just start having little camps for like little kids.
So you're ready to start that, right? That's what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
All right, you're committing? Okay. You're committing to that too?
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. All right, so last question for the both of you. Who's your favorite teacher? You can only have one. Favorite teacher in the district, the whole district, your time throughout. So in the whole district.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard
You
question.
can only have one.
Her name was like Miss Sullivan when
Miss-
I went to Windsor, but she got married and her name changed.
Okay, so Miss Sullivan, when you were at Windsor.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll check on that. So she may see this. All right, and you. So you're trying to look around. You're trying to.
Yeah, I have no idea. Probably Miss Gupta.
Miss Gupta. Okay, all right. Shout out to Miss Gupta. That's cool. All right. Well, thank you both for being on this episode. I wish you luck with the rest of the season. How many more games we got?
3.
We got 3 more games. And what's our record? Where we are right now?
5-1.
5-1.
Oh man. Okay. So doing pretty good. All right. Thanks for being on. All right, here we are again with part 2 of our flag football edition to the Talk 122 Superintendent Podcast. All right, so we have 2 other members here of the football team. Can you both give your name and your role on the football team?
I'm Giada Nowling. I'm the quarterback
Okay.
on our only team right now. So.
Okay, and then what year are you?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. Okay.
I'm Coach Dodson. I'm the head girls flag football coach.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you both for being on today. So I'm going to start with you a little bit, right? And ask you just a few questions, and you kind of got an idea of how this is going to go. It's free flowing. So you can let us know. Don't need to be nervous or anything like that. And so, for you, I asked you one of the same questions that I asked your teammates. Regardless of whether it was this year or previous years, can you go back to like your favorite play or game that you participated in?
Well, I would say, especially with my years playing with Hari and MJ.
Okay.
Well, I started with MJ, but over the course of Harlem having a team, we've learned so much. So it would be, I don't really know. I'd say probably our first game. I think it was our first home game.
Okay.
Or was it when Mel had all those picks?
That was at Belvedere.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first game this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was just like a really electrifying feeling,
Mhm.
being happy for your teammates and stuff like that. So
Was this and this may be for you as well, Coach Dodson, was this the first year where it was recognized as a sport?
Yep.
Okay.
So-
So being the first game of the year where it's a recognized sport and having those happen, I can see why that would be a good memory. And if you can remember, what was the score of that game? You did pretty well that game. That's why I'm trying to get you to say it on camera.
yeah, I don't remember.
It was like 41-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
42 to nothing.
42. Oh, nothing. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it was our first shutout.
did a really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. And so, for you, Coach, thinking about the early years of really trying to get this to become like where it is today, right? Because I remember you having conversations with me a little bit about your dream and your ideas for girls flag football. So kind of talk a little bit about that, like take us behind the curtain of actually getting this started.
All right, so for me, it started 2 years ago. I was talking with my good friend, Coach Ford over at Guilford.
Mhm.
Guilford they had been in the same league as the co-op
Okay.
the 1 year prior to Harlem having a team.
Okay.
And they had a lot of success. And I watched one of their highlight videos, and I was like, man, tell me more about this. And so he got involved. He told me a lot about it. I'm like, I'm doing this. I want to do this.
Okay.
And talked with our athletic director, talked with you. Like, I want to start this up.
Right.
And it was really cool because you guys just gave us like straight up support. Like, just let's do this. And I thought the hardest thing was going to be recruiting. And I remember like the first week of school, we had like 26 girls come out. And I was like, this is going to catch fire.
Okay.
And then working with the Chicago Bears to get it to become an IHSA sport, that's been a long process, but it's been a fun one. And we went from having, just over the summer, I think we had 80 teams that were committed in the state of Illinois, to now there's 163 teams going to be in the playoff series in a couple weeks.
Okay.
So just from the summer to now, it's doubled in size.
Okay.
And so just seeing how fast it's grown, and just seeing a lot more teams say yes rather than we're not sure. Like just seeing teams like, yeah, we're doing this.
Okay.
My next vision is for it to go into the middle schools, and I think that'll be the next big thing.
Gotcha. So I can officially say shout out to the Chicago Bears now.
Yeah, Chicago Bears have been a big partner in this. They still can come out to games. You have Mr. McCaskey is actually an official with the IHSA. He comes out and he does our game. He was at our Belvedere game.
Okay.
He does a lot of games in the area. Gustavo Silva is one of the big PR reps for the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
And his vision was to get flag football in Illinois, and he's been front running that for about 4 or 5 years. And he even still comes to our game. He was at our Belvedere game. He was at the Auburn Jamboree, and he's constantly just pumping up this sport. And he's even a part of getting it involved internationally.
Awesome.
So the Bears have been a big supporters of this,
Okay.
and then working with the IHSA to get everything on board.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And so keeping it there, what you had mentioned, and I'm going to swing it back to you. Getting interest at the middle school level, right, for flag football. Your teammates kind of mentioned this a little bit. How would you go about bringing interest, to the younger kids?
Well, already we have girls interested.
Okay.
Like, we have one of our coaches works at the middle school, so she's constantly letting them know what
Already,
we got going
okay.
on and stuff. And she said that she has a lot of girls that are really interested and wish that they could take steps to get ready for that upcoming in their high school athletic career. So it's like, well, if we started middle school, it would just prepare more girls that have never really touched footballs.
Okay.
So I feel like that would be really good to prepare them for the high school.
Okay. So can you think of, like, obviously you're a quarterback and things like that, and so there's a skill set that you have, right?
Yeah.
That's different from other positions. And so, but thinking about, like, just participating in flag football and for young girls to be able to practice, and because I'm used to basketball, and so I would go outside and obviously practice my form and things like that. What bit of advice could you give young girls who are interested in being a part of flag football? Like, what would you want them to, like, practice and do to prepare?
Well, honestly, it's the least you could do, which would impact you the most, is just playing catch or
Okay.
like simple things like that, which, like I said, girls aren't really used to doing that much. So learning the basics of that, because you're either going to be catching it or throwing it or one of the two. So that's very useful to have, especially consistency going into starting your seasons and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So here's going to be a bit of a deep question, and we'll see how deep both of you go with it. And so, obviously, you have a counterpart as far as with football. Like we have football coaches, right? For boys, and then obviously girls football coach, and then obviously you have counterparts who are boys that are playing football and things of that nature. What type of support, or can you describe the support that you both receive? From either coaches, or football players throughout the school?
Well, it'll either be like support or like they're
Okay.
trying to, I don't know why, but like one up or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Like
So
it'll be a lot
competition
of
going on.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
For some reason, like we're playing the same sport.
Right.
It'll be mostly support though to me about, oh, I see you guys throwing out there.
Uh-huh.
We need a quarterback like that and
Right.
stuff like that, which I think is funny because I probably would never get behind their O-lines. So it's
All
just
right.
stuff like that. But like the most annoying thing I say I've heard is just like, oh, I would lay you out if you put pads on and stuff
Okay.
like that, which
Okay.
I'm not about to do. So.
Yeah, so a little friendly competition. Sounds like some jealousy there a little bit, but we'll leave it there. So, and some support. So that's good.
Yeah, for sure.
And then what about you, Coach?
I've had a lot of support. I used to coach football under Coach Morrow.
Okay.
So they're always asking, like, how you guys doing? Who you guys got this week? How'd you guys do? All levels.
Okay.
And a lot of the coaches that are on staff I've coached with or were coached by. And so it's kind of nice just being involved in football again, and just always asking how we're doing from coach's perspective, and like, so what's the difference with coaching football versus flag, where the difference is, and how do playoffs work, things like that. So
Okay. All right. So I think your last teammates just mentioned this. So I think it's 3 games left, right? And so describe to the audience how the next 3 games are going to go, and then going into the playoffs. Like, how does it look? So who's your next 3 opponents, and then how does the playoffs look?
Well, in order, we have Guilford, which are one of the top contenders,
Okay.
and Freeport for our homecoming game, and
Okay.
then East for the last one, I think.
Okay.
So it's a good lineup. I'm excited.
Okay. And then how does the playoffs look? I mean, is it after you obviously got to wait to the records and see how that
Yeah.
shapes out? But because you had mentioned like how many teams are in Illinois, and so are we in different regions? Like, kind of explain that a little bit, Coach, if you want to say
So
that.
it's really similar to basketball.
Okay.
Right now, everybody makes it. So all 163 teams are in.
Okay.
The way the current bracket is, it supports up to 192 teams. So we have 163 teams in, and they're broken down geographically by sectionals. So there's 8 sectionals. Within our sectional, we have 19 teams. So there are going to be 4 regional brackets.
Okay.
They'll have either 4 or 5 teams. They'll have a couple regionals. You're going to have like a play-in game. And then you have your semifinals and finals.
Okay.
And we actually have a Zoom meeting coming up here in about a week where we'll determine who's in which regional, and then your seats based on your record. And then from there you just play out, regional champions will go to sectionals. Your 8 sectional champions go to state, and that's a Friday night. And how it works is if you win on Friday, you play on Saturday,
Okay.
and you're playing for a state trophy.
All right.
If you win, your first game on Saturday, you go to the championship game of first or second. If you lose on the first game on Saturday, you go to the third, fourth place game. So, what we've been telling the girls is five games. 5 games, we can make history and bring home a trophy.
Awesome.
It's gonna be tough. We got some good
Yep.
teams on our regional, Guilford being one of them. Lakes is another good team. And, but, see what happens. We have a really good matchup next week with Guilford.
Okay.
They're fighting for a state trophy. They've been 4th place in the state the past 2 years, and they're kings of the conference, and they've earned that right. And see how we can stack up against them.
All right. So we're coming, is what I'm hearing. So that's good.
Yep.
All right. And so only 2 more questions for you both. Okay. And so this question I said to your teammates as well. I'm gonna say a little bit different for you. So, who's your favorite teacher? Only can have one.
I would probably say my middle school English teacher,
Okay.
Miss Hockmuth.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so not your favorite teacher, but favorite staff member you've worked with ever in Harlem.
This one's going to be a little biased, but it's got to be Scott Scholl.
Okay.
Scholl's actually my football coach, and he brought me on to coach track when I first started. Kept me around for a long time, and I started coaching football because of him again. And just every day, we talk with each other. We talk football. He's just always asking questions. If I have, hey, what do you think of this scheme? And tell him, hey, this is what we're running. This is what we see, and we're just bouncing ideas off each other. So Scholl's always been a good dude to me,
Okay.
and kind of helped me push me along to go back to get my teaching degree. So
Okay.
I gotta give him the shout out.
Awesome. That's good. I thought you were gonna say me, but no, I was just saying it anyway. So usually I end with that question, but I wanted to end with this question. So if there, obviously for again, if there's anything that you could say to the community, whoever watches this, the lasting impression that you want to leave as far as for girls flag football, what would you say? What do you want to say?
Well, I would just be happy that it's getting more and more attention every day, but mostly I just want to say don't be afraid to try it.
Okay. And what about you, Coach?
If you're interested at all, look at the Rockford Park District League, because they have it through elementary and middle school. We actually have 20 girls from our middle school that are playing in the Rockford League, and we got one of the biggest representations in the league right now.
Okay.
And that would be my suggestion: is if you curious about it all just a little bit, get involved with the league next year and give it a try.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you both for being on, and obviously thank you to the 2 previous guests as well. This is, again, an episode highlighting our flag football team. As a community, we're really excited about everything that you do, and obviously we've been with you as well, from the very beginning, and so we appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate the history that you're starting and will make moving forward. And so with that being said, thank you all for tuning in again to another episode of Talk 122. I am Harlem. You are Harlem. We are Harlem. Until next time.